Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. How are you today? I'm glad you came to play and learn Arabic with Koko. Your friends here at home, they're also playing and learning. And they're sitting now in a circle, trying to remember all the rules they have learned so far. And I hope you're doing the same thing. Try to find your friends and make circles with them to learn the Quran. And once you start reading the Quran, you can meet once a week and sit in a circle and read the Quran together until you become perfect. And then after that, you're going to grow up and you're going to still sit in a circle and you're going to study the Quran and the meaning and memorizing the Quran and trying to teach also other children. Today we are not going to have something new. I have decided to review with you again the med rules, and I decided to pull everything together in one session. Since the med rules is very long topic and it can be very complicated and confusing. But once we try to simplify it and pull it all together and put it in one table, and this table becomes like a picture. Becomes like a picture in our memory. When we are reading the Quran, we have this picture in our head. So try to make one at home and put it in a picture. Put examples with every rule. And whenever you're reading and you're kind of confused, you just close your eyes and try to see that picture. And everything is going to fall in place. It's a very, very good tool to remember things. Not only with Tajweed, but with your school stuff too. Put stuff in tables, diagrams, and try to remember the whole picture. And this way, you're not going to confuse things together. So today we're going to review, as I said, and everything is going to be clear after that. So let's go to the classroom, and I'll try to make it short since last couple of weeks we had long sessions, but I'm trying to make it short. And the next lesson also I'll try to make it short and simple to give you time to digest the med rules before we enter into more complicated rules. But for now we're gonna go easy for a while till you adjust, and then we're gonna go start again with a little bit different complicated rules. For now, let's go to the classroom, meet Koko, and help him to learn, okay? Let's go, my friends. I'll see you in the classroom. Assalamu alaikum, Koko. How are you today? I know you're getting very good at this because you practice a lot. I see you all the time. You are practicing and reading your Quran and studying your rules. And so do our friends at home. They're doing the same thing, I hope. Okay? So today, as I told you, we're going to be doing some review on the med rules. And also we're going to touch again on the stopping rules, and I have put everything together here for you so you don't have to waste time writing, and I hope that you can remember the whole picture. So we're going to start with a story of the med. The med is my favorite topic because when you read the Quran, the med always make the reading very beautiful. So for those who master the recitation of the Quran, they really find, or you find them beautifying the voice with the med. The med is a very beautiful rule. So to start a story, med means elongation. It can have a symbol, It may not have a symbol on the letter. But the mad letters are three: the alif, the waw, and ya. The mad is divided into two categories. Either it is a natural mad or it is unnatural mad. Okay? The natural mad, you find the alif or the waw or the ya as part of the word. That means the word cannot stand without that letter. It is part of the building block of the word. Like the word kitab. Kitab has an alif with a long vowel, and if I take the alif out, the word will not give the same meaning. Kitab means a book. So if I take the alif out, the meaning will change. And so on. So the ulama of the Tajweed, they put the three mad letters for natural mad, they put it in one word so people can remember. In the word nuhiha is a letter waw, long vowel waw preceded by a dhamma, or a long vowel ya preceded by a kasra, or long vowel alif preceded by a fatha. And we know the rule for the natural mad is two harf. Okay, it is two harf. Okay, now we come to the unnatural mad. This is unnatural because the mad letters, or we elongate because of a situation, and the mad letter is not part of the word. It's just added for something, because to give a special meaning, or because of the grammar, or so on, or because of the position of the word in a sentence. But if you take that letter out, the meaning of the word is not going to change. The word is not going to break down. The word is going to still be the same word. For example, let us start with the first kind of mad, the simple one. We call it mad al-badal, or substitution mad. Anytime you find a long vowel, alif, waw, or ya, preceded by hamza, anytime it is a substitution mad, you elongate for two haraka. For example, we have here a long vowel ya preceded by a hamza. So we say imana, imana, and so on. It can be a long vowel alif preceded by hamza, or a long vowel waw preceded by a hamza. So this is called mad al-badal, or substitution mad. The second type of mad we have is the mad munfasil, or disconnected mad. The disconnected mad, as we said earlier, we find any of the mad letters, alif, waw, or ya, they will have a symbol of the mad on them, and the word that comes after the mad letter, the next word, the first letter in the next word, is start with the hamza. So whenever a mad letter, alif, waw, or ya, proceeded by hamza in the next following word, then it is mad munfasil, or it is disconnected mad. And in this situation, I have a choice to elongate 2, 4, or 5. An example, fi adhanihim. So here I can make it 2, fi, or fi, or fi adhanihim. Second example is ya ayyuha, ya ayyuha, and so on. And by the way, a lot of people confuse the word ya ayyuha because it is written in a joint form, but ya ayyuha, these are two separate words. So you find the alif in one word and the hamza comes in the second word. So it is mad munfasil, or disconnected mad, and you have a choice 2, 4, or 5. The third type of mad is the mad muttasil, or the connected mad. It's different than the disconnected because the hamza and the mad letter, they come in one word. So in other word is the alif, waw, or ya they will be preceded by a hamza. The hamza will come after them in the same word, not in two different words. And in this situation, I have no choice but to elongate for 4 haraka. Sawa, sawa, and so on. The second or the fourth kind of mad, we call it mad lazim, as it means must. And this happens in two situations. Either in the beginning of some surahs, we find like the word alif lam mim. We don't read as a word, but we pronounce the letters separately. And whenever you see this mark of the madda sign on the top of that letter, you elongate for 6 haraka, no choice. You say alif lam mim. This is one situation. Second situation is when you have a mad letter, okay, preceded by, or what comes after it, a shadda. A letter with a shadda in the same word. So we say al-haqqa, and these are, I have no choice but to elongate for 6 haraka. Al-haqqa, and so on. The fifth type of mad we talked about is mad al-iwad, or replacement mad. This is very easy mad. It is only when I stop reading on a word that has fatha tanween. Actually, yeah, it has fatha tanween here. So when I stop on a word that ends up with fatha tanween, I don't pronounce the fatha tanween, but the fatha tanween or the fatha is dropped and become fatha. So instead of saying naran, become nara, and we elongate for 2 haraka. I say nara, nara, and so on. The sixth type of mad we talked about is mad arid al-sukun, or the sukun in the word or the end of the word is due to voluntary stopping or sudden stopping. I am stopping on a word because I want to catch my breath, or because I want to stop at the end of the ayah. So whatever haraka on the last letter drop into sukun, and then it's preceded by either a ya or a wa or alif, so it become Rabbil Alameen, and I have a choice to make it 2, 4, or 5. So I will say Rabbil Alameen. I made it 4. And if I'm not stopping, I will say Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, and so on. So I don't have a choice. I have a choice to elongate to 4 or 5. The seventh kind of mad is mad al-lin. Mad al-lin, and as I said, this also if you're going to stop. If you are going to stop because you want to catch your breath, or you want to stop at the end of the ayah. So the letter ya or waw. Letter ya or waw will have a sukun, a natural sukun, and preceded by a letter that has a fatha. And I am stopping on this word. So instead of saying Qurayshin, I am going to stop reading, so I will elongate at the ya, and I'm going to say Quraysh. And here I have a choice, 2, 4, or 6. Quraysh. I made it 4. On the waw, the same thing. A waw has a sukun preceded by a fatha. I'm going to stop on this word. So I'm going to say khawf, khawf, 4 harak. The last type of mad here on the bottom, I wish I have, or I had a bigger board so to make the thing clear, but that's what we got. So we have to work around a small space. So you find here the 8th type is mad as-sila, or we call it connecting mad. In the connecting mad, we have 2 kinds. Either I have a choice or I have no choice. When I have no choice, I only elongate for 2 harak. And for example, I find a letter ha, which I say, what is a letter ha here in Mad as-Sila? It is a masculine pronoun of the third person. Kitabihi, his book. So this ha refers to the masculine pronouns of a third person. So if this ha has a dhamma, okay, you're gonna find a letter small vowel on the left side of the ha, and the next word will not have a hamza. In this case, I would elongate only 2 haraka. Other situation, if there was a kasra on the ha and there was no any hamza in the next word, so you're gonna find kasra and a backward ya. In this situation, I will elongate for 2 haraka, and I have no choice, only 2 haraka. The other situation is the same thing, but the letter that comes after the ha with a dhamma or a ha with a kasra start with a hamza. And you're going to find a letter waw or a backward ya with the madda on top after the ha that has a dhamma or a kasra. So in this way, you can elongate 2, 4, or 5. So and this is we call mad as-Sila. And that's all. That's all about the mad. It is easy when you divide it like this. And I want you to copy this and try to relate it to reading, to your reading. And I want you to understand, not to memorize. Okay? And you don't have to worry about names. But if you know the names, it's beautiful. It's beautiful always to know something extra. But if you can't remember the names, just remember how to apply them. Remember or know to recognize when you should apply the rule and how many haraka, and that's it. And I put it in an order where it's easy for you. The first one is easy, 2 haraka, and then I put the second one. You have no choice. You have a choice, 2, 4, 5, and then the following 3 you have no choice, either 4, 6, or 2. And then you come here, the last 2 here, you have a choice. And then the last one I divided into either a choice or no choice. So if you try to remember the table on your head, look at it many times, you're going to make a picture in your brain, and it's going to be easier to remember things if you got confused. Okay, now come to our second topic to review today is stopping rules. I know sometimes I need to stop because I want to stop, the ayah is finished, I don't want to continue to the next ayah. Or the ayah is very long and I need to catch my breath. So I need to stop. So in reading the Quran, you just can't stop like that. There are some rules that guide you to stop. For example, if you have a word, any word, ends with fatha or kasra, okay, or dhamma, or kasratain, kasra tanween, or dhammatain, dhamma tanween. Any of these 5 harakat comes at the end of the word and you want to stop at that word, what happened? All of these turn into sukoon. You pronounce the word with a sukoon. In case of the ha marbuta at the end, it becomes like bih, bih, lah, and so on. Now, comes to something very important, and I forgot to mention it last lesson, but it's about the ta marbuta. The ta marbuta, no matter what haraka on it, whenever you stop at a word that ends with ta marbuta, the ta marbuta change into ha marbuta. Like, for example, Surat Al-Fatiha. Actually, it is Surat Al-Fatiha, and there's a ta marbuta on Al-Fatiha, but we don't say Al-Fatiha to Suratul Fatiha to, because we are stopping. Surah Al-Fatiha. I'm not going to say Surat and I stop. No, that's wrong. I say Surah. This is a beautiful surah. Suratul Fatihatu is very beautiful. Or Suratul Fatiha, and I stop. So, whenever you see a ta marbuta at the end of the word, you change it into ha marbut. If you are stopping at that word, okay? And then you apply the rest of the rules on it. And that's it for today. I don't want to make it a long lesson. I just wanted to review, and this table is staying with you. Try to get a big chart, or big construction paper or a board, and try to put those things together in a table and just hang it in your room. In this way, you can hang it like next to the alphabet table. Remember we made first in the step one, we put the alphabet with the fuzzy sticks. I think I hope you still have that table or board. So make a new board for the math rules, put it together, and that's the only way you can remember and make it easy, okay? For now, I will leave you till I see you next lesson. I say to you, fi amanillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.